see how that continues with in boxes. Does it continue? Quite an unusual then beginning. Just that beginning 15 seconds, or maybe 14, on a low C. Experimenting with different harmonics. That's just held on probably a synth. I know I do more of a didgeridoo, but it is a synth, and it's holding that C, and it's just going that kind of thing, messing around with the different harmonics. Well, we've not heard anything like that before. It fades in, and then it just holds. It's a little bit woo woo woo. Yeah, we get that woo 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 woo. Bop. And then we get that, yeah, sudden drum coming in. There's also a laugh. There's just a laugh in the right headphone there. Are you having fun? Yeah, so an interesting beginning from all sorts of reasons. Okay, and then the drum comes in, doesn't it? 1, 2, we're given the rhythm. Okay, what an interesting verse. We're not going to go into the melody, of course. We don't do that right now. We're doing texture, and we're doing instrumentation, and we're doing structure. But we have a very quick intro. Now, at the moment it's going bomb, 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 and that's really the only intro we have there, isn't it? We could consider that long-held note intro too, but yeah, really it's just those 4 bombs. Let's just check it's 4 again. Here they come. 1, 2, 3, 4. Calling. Yeah, so really just 1 bar. If we're in 4/4, it's just 1 bar. Quite a slow tempo overall, isn't it? And then yeah, into the verse. Now the verse, quite complicated, really. You can again split it into kind of an A and a B, but it's more like Runaway's verse, where both parts of it really bear no resemblance, and they are quite long in comparison to, say, Awakening, which has 2 parts to the verse, but they are shorter and more repetitious. That's not really what we get here. Structure, because we get that. Let's hear it one more time, just for my own benefit. I just want to say as well, with those with the drums there, we've got kick drum, kick drum, kick drum, then a somewhere up there, just a click, like some very high-pitched tom. I don't know what would maybe a wood block. That's really all we've got, and we've got that ooh, ooh, just coming in and out of the thing. Yes, I am like a music teacher. That's what someone said on the chat, just for posterity. So that woo is sort of coming in and out because the kick drum hits so hard in the mix, bam, that it makes everything else disappear. This is a classic sidechain compression concept, just making that hit from the kick drum mute everything else by the association, I guess. Yeah, then this melody, let's hear it again. Calling out for the lonely, I am going home. So that first part, we've kind of got a little bit of repetition in it, haven't we? We start with those 3 high. Do, 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 do. So the do, do, do is very similar to da, da, da. So that's almost like 2 A's, but they're different to each other in themselves. I've been doing awful things again. And then that has a little bit of a link, doesn't it? Ba da 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 da. A lot of that ba note, but it's quite different in itself.
I hear them laughing in my
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. That's just something else entirely.
head.
And that is as well. Do, 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 do. But again with that do, do note, that's there. So there's a continuity, but again, we're not looking too much at the melody here. We're just trying to work out what the structure of things going on is. We've got 4 bars there. Or maybe, hang on. If we're going at this speed, yeah, it's 4 bars. Very slow tempo in comparison to a lot of these. So the 4 bars, it really takes up about as much as 8 bars in some of these other tracks. And then, yeah, so I would say it's an A and a B, and the B is from da ba da 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 da. But really, you could see it almost as 3 different bits, maybe like an extra long A, a B, and a C, which is the ba da 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 da. Even that you could split up into 2. We have a long phrase to begin with, then we have 3 other phrases which are shorter, or 2 other phrases if you like. Anyway, let's call it an equal A and a B for now. Okay, don't we build? Yes, lovely. Well, we could call that our pre-chorus, couldn't we, I suppose? Assuming that there's a chorus coming after. Why would we assume that? Have we listened to it before? Shush. I love those chords, but again, we're not getting into it. What's playing those chords is some arpeggiated synth, isn't it? Doing the kind of that kind of thing. And immediately it's given us slightly more information than we had. Because before that came in, we were taking these long beats, ba, da, 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 right, da, 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 da. We knew we had that sort of swing in the background, da, 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 da. But then this gives us not just the swing, but the extra beat as well. Ba, da, da, ba, da, da, ba, da, da, ba, da, da, ba. And it gives us that really rolling 3s kind of feel. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, da, da, ba, da, da, ba. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. And there's 6 of those per our long beat that we had before. Ba, 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 ba. Which sort of makes me want to go for a higher tempo at this point, thinking of it as like double time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, like that. But either way, you can still think of it as the slow tempo. That arpeggiated synth takes up a huge amount of texture that would textural space that there wasn't before. It was empty, wasn't it? We had the bass, we had the drum underneath that, we had the high drum as well, and we had Aurora, and that was it. And then suddenly this extra layer gets added and it fills a huge amount of space. Lovely stuff. As well as that, there's a little bit of extra vocals in there. Let's point it out. Got held R vocals in the background. We've got a new snare sound, ba-ba-da-da, giving us a nice rhythm, and the last part of each. Well, there's I guess 2 bits there, and it gives us so it's like to clarify 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ba da ga da, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ba da ga da. It goes there. So it's kind of like we've got 4 bars here, but the bars are half as long as they used to be by our 1, 2, 3, 4 feeling. So what do we do with that? I don't know. Let's think of it in one particular way and make everything clear. I think we should probably go with the shorter bar length, because that keeps the tempo more similar to other Aurora tracks, and I guess the sizes of different sections become more regular then, like 8 bar verses as opposed to 4 bar verses, which is quite short. Still, the chorus, no matter how we look at it, is either 2 or 4 bars, so very, very short. But it's 4 bars in our longer version, and that seems more reasonable than 2 bars. Anyway, we've got another section coming up. What's going on here? Hang on, in our previous section, did we have that arpeggiated synth, or was that gone? Interesting one I hadn't noticed, but there's a there's a going from one ear to the other on the offbeats. That's fun. It's just a little bit of colouring to the ensemble. It's almost imperceptible, really. It feels like it's something going with that main vocal. But yeah, there's an extra bit of texture there. But we don't have the arpeggiated synth, so that's interesting. Now it's coming back in for the next section, though. Yeah, when I talk about the harmony here, I'm going to be in floods of happy tears, but it is not this day. But what we've got here is very similar to the previous section in texture, but we're missing that main melody. We've got a different melody instead, and this one is not quite as straightforward on the pitch, but it is straightforward in terms of repetition. We get one, right? So even though I sang 2 different harmony vocals there, they are the same, both happening at the same time. And the important thing is that they do the same thing in both of those bars. Ooh, is the same in both. The only thing that's different is that first note. It either starts on the beat, ooh, or it starts just after the beat, ooh, and so it's faster. But that's the only difference. So still very repetitious melody-wise, but there's not much continuity between the different sections in terms of melody. But I'm talking way too much about melody. I just really like this one, I guess. I need to keep on. There we go. So the first time it was 8 bars, and the second time 'twas 6 bars. It's an interesting change, quite a rare change. Not something that would happen normally. Not something that would happen in your old generic Aurora song. But it's a really fun change. Taking out 2 bars from a section makes it unwieldy to some degree, but it also pushes expectation into the next section prematurely. That's not quite the right way to say it, but the idea is that your expectation is waiting for those 2 extra bars, and as they don't come, suddenly there's a new section, so your expectation is dashed and you go, whoa, oh, it's something else, whoa, nice, love it. Oh, it's something I already know, which is the chorus. But nonetheless, this section, we got the arpeggiator back, didn't we? Where is it? The harmony vocal. It's only a small bit, bye baby, but it has a strong effect, I think. A bit of a whoosh into the chorus. And the other thing is that pre-chorus has our knives in as well, which is, it's nice that they continued on into the next section and they weren't just solely strangely for that verse 4. It's a strange instrument though, isn't it? We wouldn't expect scratchy knives to be in a piece of music. At least I think that's what they are. I've not heard much like. So really we've got like, well, if our first bit is doo-doo-doo, and then we've got doo-doo-doo-doo, we've got 3 different sections just in that first part. And then do-do-do-do-do-do. So the do-do-do-do-do-do, there's kind of a repetition there, but it doesn't feel like what's come before. Do-do-do-do-do is kind of like that beginning. do 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 do. Kind of similar. So it almost finishes how it began. So you could consider it like a tiny A, big B, tiny A. I think that's silly though. I think really we should think about it as a long phrase with maybe 4 more or less balanced sections, none of which have much to do with each other. So yeah, just one long 4-bar phrase really. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, interesting that transition there. Let's just make sure I know how long that. Now this next section seems to be doing something different, but also the same. Well, this is what we would expect of the outro, right? We would expect it to build on material already come across, and that's exactly what it seems to be doing. It seems to be doing the bridge, but we also got the backing from the chorus. So we've got those vocals in there. We've got the drum, which actually I think was absent in the previous section. And yeah, we've got I guess the bass, but we haven't got the arpeggiator. The main thing that gives us that texture is the choral vocals. Oh, actually, in that section we do have a bit more drum. We have, yeah, a hi-hat, I guess, a pedal hi-hat maybe. Sounds like there's like a pedal hi-hat over here and a really tight hi-hat over in the right cup. And there it is, actually really occupying the space there for a moment. As the bass drum drops, actually, it's not there, and then comes through. Nice. And then everything swirls back in for the next section. So yeah, we've got that or oi. It sounds like it's saying oi to some degree, going between the left and the right there as well, with another drop in texture just before the thing. But there with a ooh kind of feeling. Let's see what's doing that. Okay, it's not ooh, but it's ha, as there's some breathy sounds that get louder. Sounds like hilariously re-cued voice. So if you've got like a voice and then you take a tiny amount of that recording and you just copy and paste over several hundred times, next, you get that kind of re-triggering, which is fun. I think, yeah, it's a yes. That was an interesting chorus because it had the hook vocals in it at the same time. So we're really getting a merge of different sections here. And making, yeah, as is quite common, this sort of straightforward polyphony, just extra melodies layered on top of each other. No deliberate, crazy interplay between them. But yeah, just basic polyphony. And now are we just going to have a hook again? Sounds like it. Okay, and just some slightly aggressive noise to finish. Kind of starting how it ended as well. Ending how it started as well. Yeah, so overall that one followed our expected structural trajectory and played around at the end in a novel way. But texturally there was a lot that was different to normal. There weren't any pianos. The vocals that were used were overall in the background. There was a little bit of extra harmony vocals in the foreground. And there was, I'm just going to take a drink because I have something in my throat. And I have a lovely Fever Tree Sicilian lemonade. Fever Tree have just absolutely eclipsed my expectations in the soft drink world. And texturally, we didn't build as we normally build either. We built we didn't build at all through the verses. The verses were very static, and then we suddenly added this arpeggiator, which took up a huge amount of space in the pre-chorus, and then got rid of it for the chorus. And the chorus, therefore, didn't feel like much of a increase in volume or texture compared. Yeah, interesting